it is time for the video of the day. I'm your host, Greg. Welcome. Now, I'm sure you can obviously tell from the surroundings that I'm back from Nashville. I'm back to work. But I got to tell you, that trip to Nashville, it wore me out. But I learned a few things. And these are things that I learned from the trip to Nashville. Okay? One of the things I learned is that it's a 3.5 hour straight drive from where we live to Nashville. It's almost 4 if we go the freeway. You leave out of our house and take the back roads, and it's about 3.5 hours. But if you come back, and you got some back roads, but you hit the freeway, take the freeway down and back up to where we live, it's almost 4. Just because the freeway is quite a few miles out of the way. The back roads are a little bit more of a straight shot. The other thing that I learned, especially on the way back, was as much as I loved his restaurant, I'm sick of Jason Aldean. Because I listened to that CD for 3 hours on the way back. It drove me nuts. Shutting it off, that would have meant my death instantly. But we did have a good time. Those are the 2 things I learned going to Nashville. How long it takes to get there and back from our house. And and I'm sick of Jason Aldean because I listened to his CD for 3 hours straight. In any event, we're back to work here, not last night, but the night before. And I'm back out on the roads. And it's like, when we were driving in Nashville, y'all know I hate driving during the day. Okay? Whoa! Sorry for that small malfunction there. I was trying to adjust the camera to get a little better picture for you guys, and the camera fell out of the holder. Didn't hit the floor. I caught it. What was I saying? I don't remember. I just got started. Got back to work. Got started. You guys remember that I've told you before I hate driving in the daytime. When we were in Nashville, I drove my wife nuts. I'm constantly yelling at people. It's like, look, either drive or get off the road. I had got onto the freeway. No, I was on the freeway, and there was a guy that was coming on. And I got over, and the guy that caught on, instead of either, staying back so I could get back over or hitting the gas and getting by me, he got right up close to me, right? He got right up close to me and stayed there. So I couldn't get over. I got mad. I slammed the pedal to the floor. Boom! Took off, got over there. That kind of stuff just drives me nuts. People don't like to use their blinker. When we were driving over, my wife was driving, and we were in Nashville, and all of a sudden we're moving along, and cars are going, and I'm like, stop, because obviously somebody was stopped. She must have thought them people was nuts. I remember her saying, "You're driving once we get there." It drives you nuts, and I can't stand it. I gotta learn to be a little more calm when I'm on the roads, because I gotta realize that most of these people that are out there driving are idiots. There's no 2 ways about it, and it drives me nuts. People, there's a little handle on the side of your steering wheel. Okay, I've got one here on my big truck. It's called a turning signal. What it does is it doesn't give you permission to come over, but it lets other people know what you're intending to do. Okay? So you don't hit your turning signal and then go over. It doesn't give you permission. It tells that person behind you, hey, I'm coming over. Please? And then they can either mash on it and get by you or back off and let you over. Either way is great. But you have to wait for them to give you permission. You don't just go over. Now, if you're sitting there and they're not paying attention because they're texting on their phone or they're playing with the radio or they're eating their lunch or breakfast or dinner or whatever, and they don't see you, then you get pissed off and you go over anyway. But the point, number one, use it. Number two, it does not give you permission. Okay? So, like I said, in other words, you don't hit your blinker and then go. Like that. Not that quick. You hit your blinker. You check your mirrors. You wait a minute. Not quite a minute, but, you wait for a little bit to see what they're going to do. Okay? I've seen them where I hit my blinker to go over, especially in my big truck. I've hit my blinker to go over, and it's like they're here, and I've got plenty of room to get over, and all of a sudden my blinker comes on, and while I'm checking my mirrors, boom, they take off because they don't want to be riding behind a big truck. Or this just drives me nuts. I'm driving along, right? And I hit my blinker, okay? And they don't want to back off so I can get over. I mean, when I'm in my big truck, I want to make sure that there's enough room between you and I so that if I stop for whatever reason, you can too. Okay? So I try and give you a little cushion there. All right? Well, then you won't let me over, okay? And you're driving right up on my butt. So I got to get off this exit, so I got to get over. So I get over. And then what does the person behind me do? They get back in that lane. If you were going to get over there, why didn't you just get over there in the first place? I mean, if you see the person wants over, and after they get over, you're going to get over that lane anyway, then just get over there, and that way they can come over and everybody's happy. And there are people, I'll say this, there are people I see do it. I ran into a couple last night, I hit my blinker and go over, and they got their blinker on. They're going over. Great, let's switch places. And we just, switch places. Worked out perfect. They went by me, and I was happy, and they were happy, and nobody got mad. Road rage. I've never gotten to the point. I had in my younger years, but lately I've calmed down a little bit more on the going after them and telling them, I was coming across 64 last night here on the southwest side of St. Louis, and I'm coming across 64. And I'm driving along, right, and I'm pulling up on this guy, and I've showed you that I can tell how fast the person in front of me is going. And I can see that he's going slower than I want to go. And I also noticed that he had his brakes on. Suddenly, as I'm getting ready to go around this guy, he takes off. However, his brake lights are still on. And I finally timed it out. He was doing like 67 miles an hour, and his brake lights were on. Folks, that is the quickest way to wear out your brake pads I would know of. 67 miles an hour, and he probably didn't have his brakes pressed fully. He probably just had his foot up on the pedal. And it doesn't take much on most cars. Just touch the pedal, and the brake lights will come on. And that's probably, but what it does is if those brake lights are on, that means that caliper's pushing them brakes in. And they may just be, real light. Not hard, but just real light rubbing against each other. That's all it takes to wear that pad off. And if your pad's already wore down, guess what? It wears off even more, and you have to do the brake sooner. Anyway. All right, well, I babbled on this one for 7 minutes. I talked on the other one before the phone fell for a couple minutes. I'm going to let you go. One more thing I wanted to do. This is my new hat. My wife got it for me for Father's Day. And, of course, we didn't celebrate Father's Day until I just got home. And so she got me my new Swift hat. I wanted the one that was black. Or it was either black or dark blue and had a black Swift across here. That way when I grabbed it, if my hands were dirty and I grabbed my brim, I could, it wouldn't get all dirty. But this one's real nice. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you, sweetie. I love you. And that was from my wife. I believe that was from my wife and Tristan and Jamie for Father's Day. So I just wanted to show that off and tell them publicly. Thank you. Anyway, I know you're looking at the screen going, Greg, don't do that again. All right. That's enough. Remember, comment, like, share this video. Get the word out. The Greg Crazy Trucker's out on the road, and he's creating havoc wherever he goes. Until next time, this is your host of the video of the day, Greg Crazy Trucker, saying, see ya!